Hello again, everybody. What to draw, what to draw. Sometimes I just want to draw something in my sketchbook. I've been trying to draw regularly in my sketchbook. And as most of you know, if you're artists, and I think most of you are, sometimes you just got to start drawing something. So after a little bit of coffee and fortification there, I thought about my very best friend. Her name is Erica. She recently sent me a screenshot of her phone, and it was her title screen, and she had a big old capybara on it, which is new for her. So I was like, hey, is that a capybara on your phone? She said, yeah, I think she's become a little bit obsessed with them recently. So I had to, honor that unusual and fun fact about her right now. We don't live near each other, so when we catch up, sometimes we get to surprise each other, which is actually pretty nice. So this page was dedicated to capybaras for Erica. They are one of the oddest creatures I've ever had the honor of drawing. I know they're a giant oversized rodent, and I know they live in, I think it's tropical areas, and mostly around water. I don't know much about them, but they are cute and very, very interesting. They have so many squared off corners. It was just fun. It was fun looking up pictures of them to draw. And so on the top, you can see I went from a very thick Micron pen. I think it's called Micron Graphic 1. And then I went on top of it with a Micron 2, as in .02. Micron pen's just a regular, well, I don't know what a regular is, but just a Micron fine liner. And I really like the combination of the two together. I have tried that before, and then I also saw a really great artist inspiration of mine, Loish. She used both of the pens in tangent as well. And now I do it more, but not always. But I really do like the combination. Then, of course, the one before this was with a mechanical pencil, still my best friend. Okay, second best friend. Erica's my first best friend. The mechanical pencil is my second best friend. I have many best friends. But yeah, sometimes I really love to sketch, and I'll probably be doing some graphite work here too. This little guy was a lot more funny. He was sideways. I could see his little squared off bottom and his very square nose, and there's just something so comical about these animals. So I wanted to do a little bit more of a caricature of him. I sketched him out first, came back in with that big graphite pen. I'm trying graphic pen, not graphite, graphic Micron. I'm trying to, as I've already mentioned before in previous videos, more characterize things that I draw, as opposed to just drawing always realism. I still like realism, and of course I do a little bit of it actually at the end of this video. So if you like realism, there's a little bit of it coming. Cutie. He was so cute. I really like him. So that was for Erica. So then I turned to another page, and those are my goals for 2022. I'm not going to go over them. They're pretty basic, just general beginning of the year type list of things I want to think about as the year progresses. And on the opposite page, that was a little further back in my sketchbook, and I had this blank page next to that goal list. So I'm like, hey, let me sketch in a blank page, since I'm just kind of doodling and drawing today. And I picked this pen out of my pile of pens in my pouch. Pile of pens in the pouch. 3 P's. How's that for alliteration? This one is called the Papermate InkJoy pen. And I honestly have no idea why it was still in my pouch. I have drawn with this pen before, and it is very difficult to draw. It does not glide. It constantly acts like there's something on the page. For a moment there, I was like, this was an older page. See, I just flip it. I'm so irritated with that pen and drawing. I thought that maybe I'd gotten lotion on my hand a long time back and put lotion on the page. You know, sometimes things don't. Obviously, things don't draw well on lotion. So I turned to the next page in my sketchbook that was ready to go, and still just struggling. I'm bearing down so hard, just trying to get the ink to come out of the pen just to attach to the paper. And this, as far as I know, is a page I've never had my hand on before. So I got frustrated, stopped. And that's my favorite thing to draw is horses, really. One of my favorite things to draw. I had to stop. It was so frustrating. So I was like, you know what? Let me do a bunch of different pens on this page and kind of talk about what I like about some of them and what I don't like about some of them. So this is the graphic Micron again. It is a big old nib, and as you can see, it puts down a very bold line. I am not used to drawing like that at all. So this is definitely way out of my comfort zone, drawing with this pen. You can kind of tell the face. I don't know. It was just a little bold and awkward. Cheap Papermate InkJoy. No joy. There's no joy in InkJoy. I threw that pen away. Believe me when I tell you. I didn't even donate it at work. I'm like, I don't even want to put somebody else through this. The big bold lines of the graphic, Micron graphic, are really difficult to get used to for me. Now I'm back in Micron 01 land. This is the Sepia pen, and I am much happier. Apparently when I draw, and compared to other artists, because I watch a lot of other artists' work, I don't make those nice bold sweeping lines very easily, and it might be something I work on later. It's not really something that I've particularly wanted to master, to be honest with you. I like my sketchy lines because I came from pencil sketches, pencil drawing, pencil portraiture, graphite, charcoal. So sketchy lines kind of make me happy, which is probably why I like these pens, because you can kind of build as you're sketching. You're like going over the same line either over and over and over again, or you're just kind of moving it slightly, and because the line is so thin, you really are building up a tonality in that area, as opposed to just one big black swooping line, whoosh, and now that shape is forever there and you can't move it really. And you can't, I mean, maybe I need to do a sketch and then do the graphic big bold swooshy lines. I don't know. But for me to just go in at it, it's fine. I don't mind, but I just know my proportions are usually a little bit off or janky. So yeah, I'm just having a good time now. Back in my comfortable land of Micron pen sketching. It took me a while to get used to sketching with pens, but I used to use ballpoint pens when I was younger. I didn't have a Micron pen for a while, so the first thing I did was just, commandeer the pens in the house when you're a teenager, and found out that ballpoint pens are actually quite nice to draw with. They will allow you to be sketchy, which is nice. So here I am drawing with a Micron 02, I believe. And I did not realize that I had not pulled my paper up. So I tried to edit it so that I'm not drawing too much off screen. But it's really funny that I'm drawing in the very bottom corner. Just the very, y'all are probably like, move the paper up. Come on, move the paper up. As I was when I was watching the video. I was like, oh, look what I did. So, there you go. Darken in the eyes. And move the paper up. No, I didn't. I just blew it up a little bit. Because if I'm going to draw down there, you might as well see what I'm drawing, right? Don't worry, pretty soon I move the paper up. Glitching. Yep. Real problem. Fixed. Yay. Fixed. All right. So I do have fun. Just drawing in the little owl. This is where I'm most happy. Just absolutely just sketching, literally with tiny lines, building up detail. It's okay to like get out of your, on my screen things are going a little weird. Hopefully that doesn't translate to the actual video, but I never know. I love this old computer. Look at her go. But anyway, the whole screen just went like negative, like a negative photograph. I know some people might not even know what that means anymore, but back in the day we used to have photographs and they came out negatives, and the negatives were just the opposite of all the colors. And anyway, the whole screen just looked like that. Now it looks really dark, so I'm gonna have to go in and fiddle with this. If this is a really dark screen, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry. And hopefully it fixes itself soon. Anyway, just having a great time drawing this beautiful barn owl. He had his wing open. It was really pretty. That's what I like about just drawing random, because I just flip through the either Pinterest or just Google in general, and I have a good time. Just something will strike my fancy and I will enjoy it. Enjoy drawing it. So there's the owl. So then I got the idea, well, since this was so swooping and dark and bold and didn't have hardly any detail in it at all, so very gestural, almost comical, and I don't mean like in a good way like a comic book, I mean comical. The lips are just outlined. I guess normally you wouldn't outline lips if you were gonna draw in big bold lines, but she had very dark lips, so going back over it and adding in that shading changed this face so much, because at first I really didn't like it and I was thinking I might not want to put this in a video. But it's all about experimenting and making your art supplies do what you need them to do to suit your taste and your endeavor. And I'm really glad I went back over her face. It made all the difference in the world. Also reiterated what I was saying earlier and what I had learned. And that is that the two pens together work really well. Normally I would go with the Micron 2 first and then come back and do darker places and darker, bolder lines with the graphic pen, but going backwards was kind of different, kind of fun. Just finishing that up. So this reminded me that my first love of pens and pen drawing came from ballpoint pens. So this is a sketch I made already because the sketch was I knew it was going to take a long time, so I just went ahead and sketched it out first. But that's my sketch. These are Cristol bold, extra bold Bic pens, and I picked a black one because the other, they don't have sepia, they don't have brown, and the other colors are kind of hard to see, in my opinion. I didn't know how they would show up on a video, so I just used the black version in that box. there's something about ballpoint pens. I don't know how they do it, but they're just nice and sketchy and light. You can barely scuff it across the paper, and it reads as almost like a light pencil line. And then you bear down a little bit, and you get that nice deep dark color that you need for shadows and contrast. And just to give credit where credit is due, this is coming from a photograph reference. Well, it's not really a reference, it's just her photographs. Her name is Shelby Lee Adams, and this was out of what appeared to be a book that she made called Appalachian Lives. So as you can see, the variation in line you can get with a regular ballpoint pen is pretty phenomenal. It's just like a really good dark pencil. Although it does give you, spits out little blobbies sometimes. You can see a couple of them here and there, but you know, it's just a rough sketch anyway. So, I mean, it's a nice sketch, but I don't know. I don't know if I would ever try to sell somebody a ballpoint pen drawing. I know some people, artists, are phenomenal at it. So, but the little blobbies are kind of, maybe that's just part of the art. I don't know. I really wanted to include this background. He was standing in front of what looked to me like a barn, a piece of barn, and it was just the way it was just nailed together, kind of haphazard, and the paint was chipping and nothing was really quite square. It just kind of bespoke to me of this young man's life. And that was me erasing all the little bib pencil and guidelines in his face. And I come back with a gel pen just to touch the highlights. So that's the final image, which I'm really happy with. And I'm going to show you all the spread now. So we got these 2 pages open and you can see all the pen goodies there. As always, thank you for watching. I have changed the name to my channel. It's Tomorrow's Arts. And I am Tomorrow's Arts now on Instagram. As always, thank you. Be blessed. Have a great day.